Hi, I'm Cheryl Devon, and welcome to The Power of a 5-Minute Conversation. I am so excited to share with you our next guest. She is a mental health professional and transformational coach, plus she is the author of Cracking the Crazy Maker's Code, Wrestling Real-Life Anxiety to Win. Welcome, Bonnie Brindle.
Thank you so much for inviting me, Cheryl.
Bonnie, you have a very unique group of individuals that you focus on in helping them with anxiety. Could you tell us who they are and why you chose them?
Yes, thank you. I chose dentists because dentists tend to suffer from anxiety, depression, stress, burnout. There's a lot of pressure in their jobs. They have to be on time with people. There's a physical difficulty of working in people's mouths. And sometimes patients that are anxious can make the job really difficult for dentists.
I would have never even imagined that dentists could be under that much stress. It sounds like it looks in your eyes like you have a connection that way, that maybe you've gone through your own personal experience.
Oh, I do. These days, people would definitely call me driven, high achiever type person, and I'm an introvert, which is really common among dentists. But as a younger person, I suffered from a debilitating panic disorder and agoraphobia. So I know what it's like to have a really difficult time just functioning on a daily level.
And you take those experiences, apply them to what the dentists and their patients might be going through?
I absolutely do, because in addition to the generalized anxiety, I have been a very highly anxious dental patient. So I know what it's like to be on that side of the chair and struggle for myself and make it difficult for my dentist.
Your book, what exactly is a crazy maker?
Mm-hmm.
And tell us a little bit about how you get over the things that make you crazy.
Well, my book, Cracking the Crazy Maker's Code, Wrestling Real-Life Anxiety to Win, is about crazy makers like potentially the people you grew up with, maybe the people that you live or work with, situations in which you might feel trapped and negative, traumas that hold us hostage in our pain. Those are all crazy makers that code difficulty, stress, and anxiety in us, and we don't always know where that's coming from.
So when you help these dentists overcome their own stresses and their patients' stresses, what sort of a benefit do you see to them?
It's a benefit on both ends of the spectrum. For the dentist to recognize that people will come into the office and not be able to tell them they're anxious, to take a few moments to talk to them about it, to ask them if there's anything that they can do to help. And also for the anxious patients, I can help them to reduce their anxiety using EFT, emotional freedom techniques, wildlife imagery, a modality of therapy that I developed years ago, to be able to be in that chair and be more relaxed so that the communication between dentist and patient is a lot better and the relationship's more relaxed.
You just mentioned something, wildlife therapy. How does that apply in the process of removing stress and anxiety?
Well, when I was dealing with my own anxiety at a deep level, I turned to nature to help myself be more grounded. And one of the things that I developed is checking in with different wild animals and their powers and abilities, to put images of them into my mind when I'm in a situation like I had to have an MRI or to stay in a dental chair. I will ask horse to show up and bring me the grace and flexibility to stay there, and wolf to show up to protect me from my own fear.
That is an amazing, amazing method that you've developed. Bonnie, how can professionals reach you and get some help from you?
Thank you. Professionals can find me on LinkedIn, or they can find me at www.bonniebrindle.com.
Bonnie, thank you for joining us. And thank you for tuning in to another episode of The Power of a 5-Minute Conversation.